another. I painted this over the weekend.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. On Saturday, last Saturday, I just sat down and decided that since I'm running around in circles, make more circles.
There you go.
This painting here was I didn't mix any of the paint to get other colors. It's right off the tube, and I totally use a palette knife.
Is it
No paintbrush.
Is it all
palette
palette knife? Oh boy.
Yes, all palette knife.
I can see the scrapings in it from the palette knife. It looks cool.
Yeah, thank you.
But how did you get the circles with a palette knife?
Well, that was okay. That's the only part I cheated. I hear somebody laughing. That ain't fair. Anyway, I use a little plate, and I put paint around it, and I just put circles.
Well, the part that's true is you use the palette knife to put the paint on the glass. So you did use all palette knife, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't use a paintbrush.
Now let's not cut him slack, Joan.
You know,
It's very nice, Pico.
Thanks.
it's my favorite of yours. It's a masterpiece.
Really?
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's
Very generous.
close.
Thank you.
It's
Very
close,
good.
yes.
I think this is a nice favorite. So
That's
I like
small
this.
for you though, Pico. 24 by 18, that's small,
Yeah. It's small.
but it's very lovely.
Thanks.
And you,
I would say the title is consistent with your inconsistencies.
Yeah.
well,
This is another piece of avocado wood that basically was in my wood pile. Picked it out because of some unique features to it, and shaped it, hollowed it, and finished it, and added I believe it's a birch orb to it, and that's it.
Very nice.
The rear view of it is very similar to the piece you showed last week.
It is.
It's just on you.
Yeah, I think the back of it,
Uh-huh.
as I recall, I actually sold this piece. I think it was I finished it not as heavily sanded as the front piece.
Yeah.
How tall is it?
It's on a pedestal. It's probably 18 inches, about 1.5 feet,
Nice.
2 feet.
It's like it's a flower with a seed coming out of it.
Yeah.
It's a baseball mitt.
is this the same kind of ball that you had in the previous sculpture of yours? You said you used a bunch of these things.
Yeah, could be. This one is finished with just the polyurethane resin that I always use that has an amber finish to it. And a lot of them I go ahead and stain them to make them darker to fit better with pieces. So
Position of the sculpture on the base. It's not in the center.
yeah,
There you
So
go.
it's interesting that way.
And the straight grain of the base.
back view looks like a tail of a
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a whale's tail, this one here, or something like that. I don't.
feature to it.
amazing. I think it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh, it's nice.
That one's mine, and it's probably the first negative painting I've ever done. So the background was just a bunch of jumbled up colors and stuff. And then I just went ahead and negatively painted in some things where, you kind of see stuff in the abstraction of the background. So I just took what I saw and they made a still life.
Wow.
that's terrific, Chris.
Yeah.
So cool,
Wow.
Chris.
Thank you. I just couldn't believe it. I don't know if I'm going to ever do negative painting again. It really was labor intensive.
Yeah. Did you draw it in first? I mean, after you determined you were going to do a negative painting, did you sketch in kind of what you saw and then paint?
I didn't. I kind of like took one area at a time and saw things and then, put that in. I went piece by piece,
Great.
trying to fit the things in that I thought might look, appropriate next to each other. But yeah, it was really a lot of work. There's probably, I don't know how many layers of stuff on there.
It's really intriguing. Did you use any stenciling?
Nope, no stenciling.
Mm.
I did a lot of line work in there. You can kind of see it in the basket. I had lines everywhere.
Mhm.
But mostly it was just jumbled up paint and then the negative painting. And then once I got the negative painting in, I kind of readjusted some of the other shapes and colors.
Well, some of the best work happens when you destroy what you start off with.
Yeah, that's true.
I've got a lot of those.
But they're not my best work.
Nice.
You know what I'm thinking is, since you got back to Italy, that you seem to be more settled down. You have a lot more freedom than when you were here. Remember, you were doing those tiny little things here. So is it because you have more space there to work?
Well, you know what? It's a different feeling over here. I mean, over there, the COVID was really disturbing for me.
Mhm.
And you know how it was managed and how it's still being managed.
Uh-huh.
Here, it's so strict that you don't have like an overall fear factor.
I feel a lot more freedom in your expression now than when you were here. It was you kind of scraped everything down and scumbled and all of that. But here you're really very forthcoming. So that's what I feel in your attitude.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, beautiful.
From one of my past lives, about 10 years ago, when I was doing a lot of photorealistic charcoal drawings, and
Wow.
the image is about 8 inches by 10 inches. Drawings are done from photographs.
Beautiful,
Yes.
Michael.
This is fabulous.
Fantastic.
The emphasis, of course, is on the shading.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Wonderful.
And you can only get that contrast, sharp contrast with charcoal. That's why all my
Great.
drawings I did in charcoal. Okay.
Michael, did you fix it with a fixative, or how do you, or is it glass on top?
Yeah, there is glass on top. So this photograph is taken through non-reflective picture glass.
Oh, wow.
Most of the drawings I had to cover with charcoal to protect them, and the mat sort of keeps the glass away from impinging against the charcoal, which would smear it. And I use fixative, of course, on the drawings after I got through to minimize smearing. But
Michael, did you use both hard and soft charcoal on that?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and especially the background real soft. When I was doing drawings, I had a lot of real thick charcoal sticks that I think I used to get them down at Rhino.
Oh, yeah.
When Rhino was open, and
It's great.
yeah, so that you can.
Michael, I noticed Michael is digging back to the past, and guess what? So did I. The next thing is mine, and it's decades ago. You wouldn't think
Oh, wow.
you wouldn't think I was a football fan, but way back then I was. I lived in LA,
Oh, yeah.
and I was in an apartment, and I did this on the kitchen floor. I mean, I've never had a studio anywhere, you know. So I'm sitting on the floor with this 3 feet. It was actually 6 feet long, but I had to cut off a foot over here on the left side because it is now stored in my guest closet, and I couldn't get it to fit behind the door. So I had to cut off a whole foot of it over here on the left. And it is.
A good stylized version. You worked from a photograph, I guess, and just stylized the photograph.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was. But,
Nice.
and,
It's great.
Very
Great
nice.
background. Yeah, great background. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
well, most of it I didn't know what I was doing. For example, the work on the hand right here. I mean, I have a detail coming up, and I looking back at it, I don't look at it much, and if I've seen it once in 10 years, but I love the work I did here,
Yeah.
and I like the way I didn't know what I was doing down here, the technique of the shading and everything, the coloring. So here's a detail that I wanted to share.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Looking back, I mean, this is a great arm with the
Yeah.
hand, the fingers are beautifully shaded. Not to say I did it, but I mean, if anybody did it, I would have said that.
Yeah, and the proportions and the size of the hand are.
Yeah.
No brush? Is there any brush?
I did
No?
not peek anywhere. No.
That's
Wow.
amazing. That's
Well,
just
that's-
amazing.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Just amazing.
Everything was mixed with the palette knife.
Wow.
Wow.
Really good. Really
Super,
good.
Fantastic.
super.
Yeah. And I love what I did here. I don't know if I could do it again, but so anyway, just to let you know that I'm not just a pretty face.
We'll remember that, Joan. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Write that down,
Make
Eileen.
note, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Just,
Yeah, fantastic.
how do you get lines like that?
Oh,
This is from it's also digging into the past. It was a photo in the LA Times, I believe, and I just liked it. So just tried the idea of trying the reflections and the idea of the workers walking home after a shift. I don't know where the picture was. I can't remember where it was, but it kind of invokes the border to a certain extent. But I liked the sky and trying to do the reflections.
very nice, very nice. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's a great picture.
When did you do this, Barry?
Oh, it's like you and Michael way back, probably 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's not too old. Mine was over 40 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't go back that far.
I love it.
Yeah, it looks like it could be workers from, peasants from maybe any country. It's not,
Yeah.
Barry, was the photo in color, or did you improvise with the color?
It was in black and white.
Oh, okay, great,
oh,
great
well,
choice
they
of
did a
color.
great job with the color.
Very good.
So, well, this is not way in the past. This is like May of this year. So when everything closed down and no one went anywhere, I, like many other people, went to work on jigsaw puzzles. So, and you had to patiently wait for them to be delivered because they were running out. So this one had details, architectural details, and signage and cool things from New York City. And it was a really nice little puzzle. And then I got a little homesick for the East Coast. And a few of the pieces, the brick and all the contrast and the colors with the sky, a few of the pieces, you can kind of see that this is like, each little painting are like maybe 4 pieces of a puzzle. So I just, got a little inspired and brought them into the studio, and I photographed the little piece of the puzzle, and they're still, they're not done. Work in progress. I don't know if I'll ever finish. But I just love how colors, they just sing when you put them next to each other.
And I'm glad you included the details there too. That's really
Yeah.
nice.
That's
I like the details more than I like the pieces. I keep cutting out, words from magazines to store in a little folder for whenever they can be used. And then I found I've never liked oil pastels, but now I love them because you can get the metallic ones and add gold on everything. So now I keep adding gold on stuff.
Yeah.
Just a little experiment.
Well, the details could be standalones. Like say if you take one of these little squares here and turn it into a 3 foot by 3 foot or something, that would stand alone very nicely.
absolutely. I agree, Joan. I think the details are very interesting. I like the one on the far right also.
Oh, this one here?
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like a landscape.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anything that could move us forward, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great job.
Well,
Very nice.
Oh, Joy, that's great.
That's
Very nice.
Get rid of this.
Thank you. This is my color project for myself this year. This is my first one. Just want to get different color together and see what's going on. I have no idea.
Wow.
Did you use a medium?
Gorgeous.
No medium. I used the old canvas I did for oil before. They still have some textures, and I cover with gesso and put.
Nice texture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks like there's a lot of lines up towards the top. I was just wondering, like a wrinkled tissue paper or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those wrinkle lines here. Yeah.
I
Oh, you made those
I
lines.
put a thicker acrylate and I use the pedal life or the point of the pen, just just a scratch, some texture from old oil painting.
Oh,
I cannot covered.
Beautiful.
okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So, and since I joined the group with you guys, and I really got some inspiration and idea to try different color and put together, see what's going on. Some good, some no good. I don't know. Just let.
I like it. It's very nice. I like the way it's split in two, where it's not equally split.
The two that I'm showing you today are things that I struggled with, again, with my cold wax. And I approach cold wax the same way I do everything else. I'm not sure where I'm going with it, but started with some papers, and this one I struggled with, and I had no intention of creating a firestorm with it. But I was doing it during all this period of time with the fires, and it just kept on going that direction. So I just let it go.
Mhm.
And so there's a lot of paper in it, lots of layers, but again, all cold wax.
Did you use bottled cold wax?
No, remember that cold wax that I brought and showed in the jar that you add pigments to? It kind of has the consistency of marshmallow cream.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you put it on
And you color it yourself. So.
Yeah, you color it yourself. You use acrylics.
Okay.
It's a water-based wax, so you use acrylics.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we used them in one of for an experiment in one of Sally's classes, but she brought in bottled, and it was fixed color. It came in with pigment already, so you were stuck with the color of the wax.
I'm not aware of that. I know that there's another wax that you use oil paints with, but I don't want to buy oil paints on top of everything else. So I went with this one.
I think the most common thing is the water-based for use with acrylic paint. Yeah.
No, not actually. That's a fairly new thing because most of the cold waxes and including encaustic waxes require oil paints.
Well, I knew the encaustic did.
Yeah, and so it's unusual. It took me a long time to find a product that would accept the acrylic pigmentation.
I was just going to say, Phyllis,
this product
I
is
didn't know that it existed. Yeah.
Yeah, the good thing about this product is you can use almost anything to color it.
That's great, because I got myself one that works with oil, but I haven't started yet. It's on the shelf.
Who makes the product?
It's called PowerTex, POWERTEX, and I have to order it. And it's not inexpensive, but I found that it goes quite a long ways. And what I like about it, like this one, has a lot of finger painting in it. You can manipulate it so that it spreads easily, and it's kind of fun to take your fingers into it and move the wax around and blend. So
I think you get amazing results. I've loved everything you've shown.
well, thank you, Ulrika.
Ulrika, this would lend itself to the things that you're showing these days.
True.
Yeah.
I just need to take the leap. It's still on my shelf. But I'm not intrigued with this product that Faye's talking about that works with acrylics. So I may just leave my cold wax on the shelf and get this stuff instead.
Now you can scrape away the wax. In other words, if I didn't like an area, I could go back and scrape it away pretty easily because it stays soft for certainly 24 hours.
Okay.
And you can come back and scrape, and you can even thin it down with water to give it more of a wash look. But I tend to build upon the previous layer as opposed to scraping away. And this is another one that ended up having to do with the fires. And again, one that I struggled with, and it ended up looking like trees. And so I just decided to go with it. And again, one of the things that I'm finding for me that I have more difficulty with cold wax, all of you know that I'm very much a colorist, and yet I'm having more problems with the intense color in cold wax than I am in anything else.
You think it's because the wax has like an opaque effect?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. You know, I just haven't, it just seems like I can't get the same effects with cold wax when I go into bright color as I do with acrylics. And I don't end up, like, I really do like the bottom part of this. I like what happened there. But not necessarily, I was having difficulty, you know, really getting the ultimately when I decided it would be tree shapes. It was, I don't know, I just had a struggle with. As long as I was talking about Waxworks, I didn't send out an announcement, but one of my wax pieces was accepted into the front porch gallery show.
Good. Well done.
And it was one of the first ones I did, and I really liked it, and it was accepted there. So it'll be at Front Porch Gallery, I think, till the 26th of September.